The Unova Pokédex is a pretty extensive and has an impressive roster of Pokemon, all with unique types and powerful moves. Do you want to guess what all these Pokemon I'm showing have in common? That's right, absolutely nothing. I just wanted to show off this little graphic animation I made. Do you like it? I think it rocks. And speaking of rocks, do you know how many rock-type Pokemon lines there are in Unova? 5, and only 5. And one of them is a legendary. I think all of them are pretty great, actually, all useful for different parts of your journey. But which one would be the best for a Unova playthrough? Usually, we do these based on both Unova games, but unfortunately, half of the Pokemon are post-game in Black and White too, and I didn't want to put half the list down because of that. So, this is all based exclusively on Black and White 1. Make it a fair playing field for all. That out of the way, let's do it! It feels like a pattern at this point, but I promise I don't do it because they're legendaries. But in last place, we have Terrakion. And as usual when I put legendaries in these lists, it is mostly because of availability. Thankfully, this is a Pokemon you can get in the middle of your adventure. Once you can catch Cobalion in Mist Mountain Cave, which is accessible after the 6th gym when you get Surf, you're able to find and catch Verizon and Terrakion. Unfortunately, Terrakion is literally in Victory Road. Yeah, that sucks balls. A legendary you could have used for the last 2 gyms, but because of where it is only going to be there for the Elite Four, the point of the game where your team is pretty much set. However, it is a legendary and it will be pretty useful. You get amazing stats, per usual as a legendary, and you get a pretty diverse moveset. Moves like Sacred Sword, Rock Slide, X-Scissor, Aerial Ace, Poison Jab, and more. And with these moves, you'll be great against all of Grimsley's, all of Caitlin's, all of Marshall's, and Chantal's Chandelure. So, if you wanted to do really well against the Elite Four, Terrakion could be a solid Pokemon to add to your team, and I would consider putting it higher for being great here, but there's other Pokemon in this list that also dominate the Elite Four and more. So, sorry Terrakion, but it is nice to be able to use a legendary in a game. Almost making it to the podium, in 4th place, we have Carracosta. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've ever heard much about this Pokemon. I've never used it either, honestly because I always forget to get their fossil. So, what does it have going on? You can get this Pokemon when you get the cover fossil at the Relic Castle around the time you go to the 4th gym. Nice. And you do get a solid diverse arrangement of moves. Aqua Tail, Rock Slide, Crunch, and Bulldoze. And with those moves, you'll do great against Clay's Krokorok, all of Skyless, all of Bryson's, all of Chantal's, all of Caitlin's, and Grimsley's Bisharp and Crocodile. Alright, so Carracosta has a lot going on. What's the issue then? Well, its stats can be a double-edged sword. While you do have amazing physical stats, your special stats could be better, especially that defense. But you're also incredibly slow. Like, my god, you're slow. I know it's a turtle and that's the thing, but with that low special defense, if your opponent has an electric or grass type move, you're pretty fucked. And okay, you can just pick the right battles and no problem, but the main issue with Carracosta is the fact that when you get it, you get the choice to another fossil Pokemon, which is infinitely much better. So, when given the choice of a god tier Pokemon and a turtle, if you want to have an easier time in your journey, why would you pick the choice that will make it even more difficult? Still, it's a nice looking Pokemon, and hey, it is useful. The winner of the bronze medal of Unova Rock types is Crustle. Crustle is a bit of an underrated Pokemon in my opinion, because while it shares some traits with Carracosta, it does have more going for it. So, the stats are pretty much similar, and availability, you can get a Dwebble in the Desert Resort ready to take on the 3rd gym. And surprisingly, Crustle gets a lot of moves that use that physical attack. X-Scissor, Rock Slide, Feint, Poison Jab, Shadow Claw, Aerial Ace, Bulldoze, the list goes on. And with a carefully curated moveset, Crustle will do great against all of Berg's, 2 of Elisa's, all of Skyla's, all of Bryson's, all of Chantal's, all of Caitlin's, all of Marshall's but be careful, and all of Grimsley's except Bisharp. Crustle will be a Pokemon that will be useful from start to finish, where if it shows up for a battle, it will battle all of your foes. You're still slow, and that special defense can only do so much, but as long as you finish opponents quickly, you'll be fine. The winner of the silver medal of Unova Rock types is Gigalith. Wait, a trade evolution is in 2nd place? Shh, spoilers. But I guess you can tell what the downside for this line is. The trade evolution aspect sucks. And while there are some people out there that are able to evolve these Pokemon, a lot of us just aren't able to evolve all of our Pokemon. I wish there were in-game traits to get them, but like, oh well, it's fine. So okay, it won't fully evolve, so it will suck for the latter game, but the reason why it's so high up is because it's an incredible Pokemon for the early game. So first, you can get a Roggenrola in the Wellspring Cave right after the first gym. And Roggenrola is an amazing Pokemon for this early game. So first, its stats are pretty solid for an early Pokemon. Not only do you have an amazing physical attack, but you also have Headbutt, a 70 base power move at the early level of level 10. So with your high physical defense and attack, and Headbutt move, you'll be great for Linole's gym. You won't be super effective, but with your defense and rock type, they'll have a hard time reaching you, and Headbutt will be just fine. Plus, that goes for most trainers in the early game. A lot of trainers only use physical weak normal type moves, like Scratch, Tackle, and Quick Attack, so literally for the duration of your Roggenrola, it'll be a fantastic Pokemon. Once it becomes a Boldore, it'll still be pretty powerful, but it will dwindle as the journey goes. You get a small but solid arrangement of moves, like Rock Slide, Bulldoze, and a Flash Cannon. Boulder also gets Swagger? That could be good. With those moves, you also be good against all of Berg's, all of Elisa's, all of Skyla's, all of Bryson's, Chantal's Chandelure, what the fuck was I saying? And Caitlin's Sigilyph. It's the one Pokemon line that won't do well in the Elite Four, but if you're not able to evolve your Boldore, then you won't use it past the 7th gym. Still, it's an amazing Pokemon for the early game. And the winner of the gold medal of Unova Rock types is Archeops. Yeah, remember when I said Carracosta was the wrong choice when it comes to picking fossil Pokemon? Yeah, you're not ready for this. Here we go. So obviously, same availability as Carracosta. You get a solid range of moves, Dragon Breath, Acrobatics, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, Bulldoze, and so much more. All of which will let you be awesome against 2 of Elisa's Pokemon, Clay's Crocroc, all of Skyla's, all of Bryson's, all of Drayden's, all of Chantal's, all of Marshall's, but be careful, all of Caitlin's, and Grimsley's Crocodile and Scrafty. And the cherry on top, look at those stats. My god, it's like night and day. Why is Archeops so much more powerful? Oh, it's because of its ability to Fetusts, which halves the Pokemon's attack stats once its HP reaches 50% or lower. That'll do it. Still, as long as you keep Archeops healthy, maybe make it hold a berry, and Archeops will absolutely be the best Rock-type Pokemon you can have in your team. Hell, I'd even say one of the best Unova Pokemon in general. It's that great of a Pokemon. I think this is one of the first lists where all the Pokemon are pretty useful in the journey. They're pretty similar with how effective they are, there's just some that are better. But that also depends what role your rock type will fill in a team. So genuinely, all of them are great picks, and they are great Pokemon. From the legendary Terrakion, your slow but steady Carracosta, the versatile Crustle, the amazing early game Roggenrola, to your powerful Archeops, all of them are amazing rock type Pokemon. Which one is your favorite?